Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. This is Mr. Frunk from Mr. Frunk Gaming here, and I would like to just bring you my Crusadia Guardragon deck profile for the May 2019 format. I think it's a very fun, very easy to learn deck. It's got really big, combos, and the sky is kind of the limit. This is just my take on the deck. There's a lot of other variants you can do, but let's jump right into it. Extra deck there. We'll get to that later. Alright guys, starting off, you're going to maximize on your Crusadia cards. Obviously, we got 3 Arborea. She's really good. She's the tuner. She's actually searchable from reinforcements of the army, being a warrior. She has that great, almost like a Balinx effect from the Salamangreats. If she's on the field or in the graveyard, and one of your monsters would be destroyed, you can banish her instead and protects them. A really good card, 3 of. Crusadia Draco. He is kind of like the bread and butter with the Guarddragon variant because he is a dragon, level 4. He also has a nice effect where he's special summoned to a zone that a link monster points to. He gets to actually add one of your Crusadia monsters back from your graveyard to your hand, except himself. So it's really good as well. All the Crusadia monsters, by the way, have that same effect that you can special summon them to a zone that a link monster points to. Really helps out with the combos. And I will be doing a combo tutorial. I'll probably put that video up tomorrow because there's a lot of different kind of tutorials, a lot of different ways you can go. I'll show you some other variants you can run at the later in this video, but let's just get on with it. All right, so, I'm dropping cards over here. So 3 Leonis. He is very important, especially for the OTK going second, because he actually allows your Crusadia Link monsters to actually do piercing damage. So like Equimax can do, so much damage with him. And he's also really important for the Rescue Cat combo. A lot of Rescue Cat's it's up to you guys. If you guys like the Rescue Cat, I know he's kind of vulnerable. You don't really want to go for him first unless you have like a Called by the Grave or another card that you can try to protect him with, or you can special summon him off of Saryuja later in the game. But I think it's worth it, man. Getting that beast out really stops a lot of decks. So another 3 of is 3 Crusadia Maximus. This guy right here, he is the guy that the OTKs revolve around. He allows Equimax to do double damage dealt. So I mean, if you hit over like a kaiju, I mean, you're doing 8,000, 9,000, 10,000 plus damage with just Maximus alone. With Maximus's effect on Equimax, but he's really good. Okay, and then 3 Reclusia. Reclusia is very important. He or she is the spellcaster of the deck, so it helps out a lot with playing against like a Secret Village, again, like with the Altergeist matchup. And then also, this card has a really good ability to, when it's special summon to a zone that a link monster points to, you can actually pop a Crusadia monster you control, and then pop a card on your opponent's field, so you can get rid of a problem, floodgate, or a field spell, or a monster, whatever it may be. Yeah, but guys, you really want to maximize on the Crusadia names, because opening any 2 Crusadia monsters is pretty much full combo. And I'll show you those combos. Like I said, I'm going to do an in-depth tutorial video tomorrow, and I'll be posting that on my channel. So guys, please just go ahead and follow me, and just definitely keep your eyes peeled, because it's probably going to be a little bit longer of a combo tutorial tomorrow, because there is quite a few. Let me get this out of the way. Moving on, guys. This is kind of a spice. I started using this card probably about 2 or 3 months ago, and actually think it's very wonderful. I actually took out some cards to put in it, and I'll actually tell you the cards I took out. But it's actually Photon Thrasher. I run him at 3. I think he's definitely worthy of the spot. His effect is you can special summon him, if you control no more monsters. So if you see him in your opening hand, you special summon him, and then you normal summon one of your Crusadias, and then you just go, full combo from there, if you just keep on going. And there's actually another combo, including Azathoth, that if you can get, some rank 4s, you make the outer entity Narla, and then you use her to, overlay into Azathoth. So, I mean, and that protects your monsters pretty much from any sort of hand traps or any of your opponent's monster effects for the rest of your turn. So, I mean, it's a really good combo. I think it's definitely worth looking into. And like I said, I'll showcase that tomorrow as well. But Photon Thrasher is definitely worthy. But that's pretty much it for the non-Crusadia extenders. Just put them off to the side. Now we're going to get into the Guardragon variant of the deck. And I do run 3 of the Black Dragon Collar Serpents and 1 of the White Dragon Wyvern Buster. I've been back and forth with running 2-2, 3-2, 3-3. I mean, I feel like 3-1 is probably the best because there's not a lot of darks you can banish with the White Dragon. I ended up having to banish like LP at one point to actually get him out. But if you open one of these or draw one off for Saryuja, like you can pretty much just banish your Magius, which is your link 1 for Crusadias, and then he's easy to bring out. And then, they have the effects that if you send them away, like if they leave the field, you get to search the other one, but you can only do that once per turn. So it's pretty nice. I'll leave them here, I guess. Then, of course, it all revolves around Red Darkness Metal Dragon. He is pretty much the guy that you really want to bring out as soon as possible because you bring him out with LP, and then he gets to search your Draco back from, the grave, and then you use them all for that Link 4 summon into Saryuja, and then you use your Pisty to get him back out. All right. Now we also have Destrudo. I've run Destrudo just because I do run Borreload Savage Dragon, and I feel like he is probably the best way to get into him pretty consistently. As long as you have a rank 3 and another rank 4 on board, you can pretty much use Destrudo's effect, pay half your life points, target the rank 3, Destrudo becomes rank 4, then use Destrudo and then the other rank 4 into the rank 8 Borreload Savage Dragon. And then normally you do that after the first Saryuja, so you actually get the Borreload Savage Dragon with a Saryuja attached, so he has 4 counters, and he's got like 4,500 attack points, so it's pretty good. All right, and for the Kaijus, I actually run 1 Gameciel in my main. I do run more on the side, but we'll get to that later. Gameciel is the best Kaiju in a lot of people's opinion, just because of his effect. If he takes 2 counters from anywhere on the field, the 2 Kaiju counters, and then you could actually negate and banish anything on the field. He's a very good negate, and he can actually he gains negates, continuously. So I've actually used him in I think it was a Chain Link 8 once, and he was actually 3 parts of the chain. Okay, and now the Rescue Cat engine, consisting of 2 Rescue Cats and 1 Valeraphon. You can do Elephant. I just happen to have an Ultra Rare Valeraphon, so I'd rather use her. And then the Rescue Cats, like I said, you do not want to open your hand and use Rescue Cat right out the gate, because he will get ashed, will get effect veilered. He's going to get hit, and then you're going to be done. Your whole turn is over because you've just committed your normal summon to Rescue Cat, and it just gets hit. Make sure you have a Called by the Grave or some other type of negation before you go and start using Rescue Cat. I can't stress that enough for you guys. But Rescue Cat, what she does is when you summon her, you can actually discard her and then special summon 2, I think it's rank 4 or lower beast types. Special summon 2 level 3 or lower beast type monsters from your deck, but they have their effects negated, which is not a big deal because you're going to use them to make the Nat Beast. Or sometimes you might need Rescue Cat to bring out 2 Leonis to fulfill a combo. So it's pretty much she's useful. That's why I took her out for a while and then actually needed her, so I actually just put her back in. Hand traps, guys, 3 Ashes. Ash Blossom is probably the most generic hand trap of the format. A lot of decks, add cards from the deck and so on. So, as soon as they do it, try to ash them, try to gain yourself some advantage. You can replace these if you rather have effect veilers, or if you rather run infinite permanents. Go ahead and run those as well. All right, going into the spells, we have 3 Called by the Graves. A very strong card. Like I said, do not facilitate your Rescue Cats, or try not to do any combos without this card, being available, because That's one thing Crusadia Guardragon has a really weakness to is hand traps. And there's certain spots in the combo that you're the most vulnerable, and I'll actually explain those to you tomorrow. Alright, for the kaijus, you run the 2 Kaiju waterfronts and the 1 terraforming. You don't want to run 3 waterfronts and 2 terraformings because essentially they're kind of bricks. And with this deck, you don't want to draw into things with Saryuja, that you already have or you have already seen. You want new things. You want extenders. And this is where these guys, I almost ran, I did run 3 waterfronts for a long time, and then actually saw a video of somebody running 2 and then 1 terraforming, because if you draw the terraforming, use the terraforming, get the waterfront, and then it mills 1 more card out of your deck for your draws. So hopefully you'll have a better ratio to get what you need. All right, 1 Rhoda. This actually is really good. This is you can get your Arborea, Crusadia Arborea out, or your Photon Thrasher. So if you open this and say you have another Crusadia monster, you can get Arborea, and that's full combo. If you have a couple more Crusadia monsters, you do this Photon Thrasher. That's definitely full combo plus extensions. So you're good. For your revivals, you got 1 Monster Reborn. 1 World Legacy Guardragon and 2 World Legacy Secessions. The Secessions are probably the best ones, other than the Monster Reborn, obviously, because it's you can Monster Reborn anything. The Secessions, you have to special summon the monster from the graveyard to a zone that Link Monster points to. Really, really handy. I run 1 Guardragon, World Legacy Guardragon. It special summons a level 4 dragon type from your grave. Also, it has a continuous effect that allows you for once per turn, you get to change a zone that a dragon type is in. So you get to move it around, and the kind of like the combo revolves around Spatha moving your monster. But if for some reason they affect Veiler and permanents to Spatha, this card really comes in handy, being able to still move the monster out of the way to have the zone that the 2 monsters point to do your Guardragon combo. But anyways, guys, for the main deck, that is it. Let's go off to the extra deck, show you guys what I run. Like I said, this is all my personal opinions of what's best in my area or in the current meta. If you guys like to run other things, go right ahead. Honestly, in this kind of deck, it's kind of all up for the personal preference, and there's no wrong answer in terms of what you like to run, just because you have that option to pull out anything from your extra deck using Aggro Pain. But anyways, so we have 2 Magius. Crusadia Magius is really good. This is the Link 1. You use any Crusadia monster to make him, and then if you special summon a monster, to affect monster to a zone that he points to, you get to search your deck for another Crusadia card. So it's actually really, really good. Be very, very careful. A lot of people end up ashing him, Ghost Ogre, affect Veiler, and then you won't get that search off. And you have to search the Draco if possible with him. And then the 1 Spatha. Spatha's good. You go in from Magius to Spatha. Then you do the Draco, and then you move the Draco using her effect. Any effect monster you special summon to a zone that she points to, you get to move to another main monster zone. So it's actually really good. And then for the OTKs going second is going to be Crusadia Aquamax. I ran a pure variant for a very long time, and the amount of damage I was able to do with this guy was just absurd, doing 30,000, 40,000, even 50,000 damage, per turn using the full, Crusadia OTK build, which you lose some of that with the adding in the Guardragons, but the Guardragons give you such a better option of going first, but you still have that OTK potential going second with them as well. So it's really, really good. And then we have the Guardragon. So we have Elpie, Pisty, and Aggro Pain. Elpie special summons any dragon monster from your hand or deck to a zone that 2 monsters points to. Pisty special summons 1 from the graveyard to a zone that 2 monsters points to. And the Aggro Pain special summons a dragon type monster from your extra deck that a zone that 2 monsters points to. So these 3 right here are only once per turn, and they're hard once per turns. So you can't activate them twice. They also lock you into dragon types if you leave them on the field. So be cautious. And then for kind of like the bosses, one Boral load, just because I feel like he's better because you don't need Boral Sword because you OTK well enough without him. So you really don't need to worry about making a Boral Sword and doing any more damage. If you're trying to OTK, you can do it just fine with Equimax and, Maximus. But Boral load is definitely better for going first. Being able to take a control of an opponent's monster or even making them lose attack and defense is really good as well. And then 2 Saryujas. If your combo goes correctly, you will go into 2 Saryujas every game going first. Or even if you go second, you can still go into 2 Saryujas really, really consistently. I would have to say probably it's closer to 85% of the time I go into 2 Saryujas. And for the synchros, we have 1 Borreload Savage. You make that with Destrudo, and like I said previously. And these are your aggro pain targets. You either have Crystal Wing Synchro Dragon, which is really good, stops hand traps. It's a good negate. I normally go for the Hot Red Dragon Archfiend Abyss. It used to be a very expensive card, but now it's like a $2-3 card since dual power, and it's like a walking and permanence. Like every turn, you get to either player's turn, you get to target one card on the field and pretty much negate its effects until the end of the turn. So he's really, really good. And then for the kind of like the flex zones, we got the Cyberus Quantum. For a long time, I was actually running F.A. Don Draxler, and I still do have him in the sleeve, ready to go, just in case I need another hard negate. You make Cyberus Quantum easily with either using like a Destrudo and making him a rank 3 and then using another rank 4 to make a rank 7 synchro, or use like Arborea and Maximus or Draco. You get to make him, and Cyberus Quantum is kind of broken in a way because when you attack, you can actually bounce that opponent's monster back to the hand, and then you actually get to attack again. And he also has the effect that they can't target your other monsters for attacks or card effects. So he's really, really good, really good protection. And then the last is obviously the Nat Beast that we run the Rescue Cat combo for. And I think Nat Beast is just so good against Sky Strikers, against True Draco. Anytime they would activate a spell card, you get to discard 2 cards from the top of your deck to the graveyard, and you negate the activation and destroy it. So it's pretty much says no to spells, and not a lot of cards are going to be able to get over him, without the use of spells. And then for kind of another reflect zone, I know this is my 15 card extra deck, but this and F.A. Don Draxler kind of sit in my side, kind of just waiting for it. And this is actually Neteria Barkion. This is Neteria Beast is like brother, but it does traps. But anyways, guys, that's pretty much it. Oh wait, side. Sorry. Let me just get this all the way here. All right, guys. For the side deck, it's going to be pretty generic. You run 3 Pankratops. I do run the 2 World Legacy World Crowns. I got some extra Kaijus for going second. Interrupted Kaiju Slumbers for going second. Twin Twisters against back row heavy decks. And then 3 red reboots against trap decks. It's pretty standard. It just gives me an out to any of those problematic decks that I can't, going second, really. Going first against Altergeist or True Draco, obviously just set the red reboots. Twin Twisters, really good against Sky Strikers, True Dracos, Altergeist, pretty much whatever. And then the Pankratops is pretty much you beat over it and then you use its effect to pop another card. And then the World Legacy World Crown is an extender. And also it's also another negate that you have if you can special summon it to a zone that a link monster points to, and then tribute itself when an extra monster uses its effect, and then just negate it and then destroy it. Yeah, guys, but that is my deck profile for Crusadia Guardragon. Like I said, I've seen so many different variants of the deck. So, there's no one good way or one better way. You kind of have to run what you want and kind of run what you feel comfortable with. And I feel like this is what I feel the most comfortable with. But if you liked it, please just go ahead and subscribe to the channel, like the video, comment down below if you had any more suggestions. And stay tuned for tomorrow's video where I'm going to be doing the combo, test hands, kind of basic plays with Crusadia Guardragons. But anyways, guys, thank you guys so much, and I'll see you guys on the next one. Peace.